been
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Explaining the Unexplainable. And as you are here with me, I think you will notice that there is somebody missing in the picture. There is two new guys here, these two amazing new guys right here, these gentlemen. But we're missing Dr. Bishop Joshua Sparks tonight, and he's not feeling well. So we are sending prayers to him and his whole family because he is really sick, and he would be here if he could. Trust me, he wanted to be here and meet you two. And the you two gentlemen that I'm talking about right now is Anthony. And Anthony, is it Esplanaire?
Esemplare.
Esemplare. Esemplare. And then we've got Robert, Earl, White. And these gentlemen are from Paranormal Unearthed. And if you haven't watched Paranormal Unearthed, you better, because this is like, and I'm not kidding here. I'm really not kidding you guys. I promise, because I don't even really watch a lot of paranormal stuff anymore because it's all the same. And
Very
I'm
true.
and I'm watching this and I'm like, what is this? Wow. This is like, I like cutting edge. It's different. And so I love it. I love what you're doing. I think you've made it into something very unique. I wish I would have thought of it. And I thank you for creating that little promo, Anthony.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much. I love you guys. So it just makes me happy just to promo it every day.
I'm so glad.
Thank you so much. And so I want to go ahead and I do want to say the people on the chat, Lady Warrior, hello, and anyone that's on the chat, thank you so much. I may not be able to be on the chat tonight because with Joshua not being here, I won't have as much time to do that. So Lady Warrior, maybe you could kind of take over as lead in that. That would be great. If you can, that would be great. I do know that there are some people that have wanted to come here and watch you guys. We've got, Anthony and Robert here, and I know that they are probably going to have some people coming on for them too. So you gentlemen here, tell me, go ahead and tell us just a little bit about yourselves. I know Anthony. I've been watching him on Facebook and became Facebook friends with him because of his love for animals, and then also the paranormal, and also you're a true American. I love that. I love you guys for being that. So why don't you go ahead and start first, and then we'll have Robert share about himself.
Sure. So, as you know, my name is Anthony Esemplare. I come from construction and law enforcement background. And I'd say about 25 years ago, I got into the field of ufology, the paranormal, Bigfoot, pretty much everything that goes bump in the night I had an interest in. And after I had retired, I decided to go full-time field investigating. And I just felt that the UFO field was going into a direction that really wasn't for me anymore. I didn't like the narrative. I didn't like the way the community was treating everybody. So Robert and I had a real passion for the paranormal. And for about a year, we discussed how we were going to do it. We didn't want to rush into it. We wanted to save and get all the best equipment. And again, going into the paranormal, we didn't want to do that cookie cutter paranormal show where everybody goes to the same place and does the same thing. And it's just that standard cookie cutter. We wanted to develop our own methods and our own way of investigating and our own way of presenting it. So that's what we're in the process of now. We're just getting ready to do episode 2. And it's been very fruitful. The first investigation was absolutely mind-blowing. We didn't even think we were going to catch anything. And the amount of evidence that accumulated at this last investigation was absolutely mind-blowing. And then we followed up with our second investigation, being Halloween's coming up. We're trying to get just a couple episodes on there. So when the spooky month comes, so to speak, people can binge watch episodes because October is the biggest month for paranormal, as we all know.
Right.
So we just went to the Wildwood Sanatorium up in Salamanca, New York, which is in Buffalo, not too far from Niagara Falls, and that was quite the trip from Staten Island up there. It's about 7 hours away, and the place did not disappoint. It really did not disappoint. But both Robert and I were always saying to each other that we must be catalysts for this activity because
Yeah.
the last 2 times it literally started the moment we walked in the door and didn't stop to the moment we walked out. And I feel like it follows us now. In 1999, I had a near-death experience. I had a motorcycle accident. I coded twice on my way to the hospital. And I had what I would call as the experience, like I kind of crossed over, not to heaven or hell. I was like in an in-between place that was just like a beautiful open field is how I'll explain that. But when I came back, I don't want to say it changed me, so to speak, in a way. It kind of made me more empathic to things, and it almost made me a little more sensitive to things before they happen. Not that I'm a psychic or a medium or anything like that. I don't claim to be, but it made me more sensitive to things that are going to happen. For example, when we were in the first location, the Seaview Hospital. It's an abandoned hospital, tuberculosis hospital that shut down in 1961. And when we were inside there, I had felt that there was a woman following us around. And I said, Rob, did you happen to see that woman at the end of the hall? I think a homeless person's down here with us. He said, there's nobody in this building but us. We walked the whole thing. There's nobody in it. And then I seen her again. And then we got confirmation. She had did an EVP and we heard it back where she said, help, I'm hurt. And then we didn't hear that when it happened. So she threw a rock at us. And then other things happened. So like, I'm kind of sensitive to that activity before it happens. And I'm fortunate for that. And it's been helping with these investigations. But Rob will tell you, because he's pretty much the same way with these things. He's very sensitive towards everything as well. So it's a good back and forth with he and I together.
And I remember you were on my other show today, and I saw the comment a little bit later that you had this near death.
Oh, yes, earlier, yes.
Incident. So I didn't see it then, and I was like, whoa.
That's
because
right.
that, I had like 2, and I felt myself come out of my body. And that, and that really changed my life.
Is it not the weirdest thing?
Yeah, I mean, and that's why, that's why I do everything I do. I'm like, I couldn't see in the body. I couldn't see spirits before. But so, yeah, so it definitely changes your whole life.
It does.
You know that you've got a real life. You got a second chance, or I had 2 more chances. So,
well, not only that, Mercedes, it shows you that it doesn't stop here. The buck doesn't stop here. You're going to go somewhere else.
Right.
And the only way I look at it is you have to live your best life here in order to get a happy maybe next life. You know what I mean? Because it could be miserable if you're miserable here. So you want to live a good life,
Right. And so what I like, what I saw with you and Robert on this episode, the first episode, was I felt kindness. I felt genuine kindness to the spirits there.
Exactly.
And I really felt it. And I'm like, wow, this is so genuine. And so I just wanted to make that comment. So
Thank
Robert, go ahead, take it away. Tell us about you.
Oh, yeah. My name is Robert Earl White. I was born and raised here in South Jersey, which is not like North Jersey. It's very boondocks, backwood, fishing, living off the land, getting our own food, all that good stuff. My life was always surrounded by paranormal. As Anthony said, we come from a different field, working in there when I was young, had a UFO crash behind my house. It's not important. Moving forward, paranormal has surrounded me ever since I was a baby. When I was a baby, my grandmother that passed away right before she passed away when I was born, she bought me a teddy bear where you would squeeze the hands and it would play music and you would put batteries in the back. Well, every night in the middle of the night, it would start going off and my mom got tired of waking up and having to deal with me and to take the bear. She would take the bear. I would start crying. It was my favorite bear. So my mom said, I'll just take the batteries out and that should solve it. For a good 2-3 weeks straight, every single night, that teddy bear was going off with no batteries in it. The one my grandmother gave me before she passed away. That was when I was a baby. It's been my entire life. I lived in Gettysburg for 2 years. I actually went to Bible college there. I used to be a pastor. I was in a Christian heavy metal band, toured all around the country, had a CD in stores. I eventually ended up in the Middle East, where I lived in Turkey for 2 years, teaching English right on the Black Sea and going to some of the oldest sites in human history and learning more than what most people can even possibly comprehend. I mean, I've been to Göbekli Tepe. That's all I needed to say on that. Moving forward, as I said, the paranormal has always, been my passion before the music, before everything else. When Ghost Hunters first came out, I was so inspired by it. I got it on box set. I would watch every episode over and over, and I was just so intrigued because I've had my own personal experiences, and I enjoyed watching on TV other people physically document the same experiences I've had privately, being a little kid, not having cell phones, not having the technology we have today to really document these things. So it's always been a passion of mine to try to validate my own personal experiences, but nothing validates the experience more than evidence. And that's a big approach we're taking. We cut so much out of our videos because we really just want to get to the point. We want the evidence. We don't want, and there's a lot we feel. As Anthony said, we're catalysts. We're starting to see it. We'll leave static cameras. When we're investigating a location, we'll leave static cameras recording some of our technology that picks up electromagnetic fields and other things. And it won't go off, not a single time for hours. And the second we come there, that's when things start having an interaction.
Yeah.
It follows us.
Yeah.
And it's to the point where it doesn't have to be a haunted building. Throughout Anthony's life and my life, things have just happened everywhere. It's out in the middle of a cornfield. It don't matter.
Yeah.
The things we've seen and experienced. I have not had an NDE, near-death experience, but I have had family members who have, and it profoundly changed them, it enlightened them, it triggered something in them, awakened them. So I completely understand that, but I've been through other experiences, and they all played a factor in opening my eyes, and more importantly, just documenting and having an awesome time with my woman, with my best friend, traveling around the country, investigating some really wild places. I'm an adrenaline junkie. I love it. It's fun. And I don't scare easy because of all those past experiences. So I believe that our curiosity overcomes our fear. The need to know what this is and to understand it for ourselves allows us to overcome that fear. Are we afraid sometimes when we're in these places? Absolutely. But the reason we don't run out is because we got to know.
Get the answer.
And we've had some, just recently, we had something so mind-blowing happen to us at our last investigation at the Wildwood Sanatorium, that when it happened, I was like, there's no way that happened. Anthony, I was in complete denial of it because it was unbelievable. Oh yeah.
This
place, it was unbelievable. And
unbelievable, this place.
And I instantly was trying to debunk them, and we just had this mind-blowing thing happen, and I just couldn't process it as it being something with that much force and energy. And sometimes when you're in that situation, we just go into debunk mode, and then because that calms us down. Oh, there's an explanation. But when we do it and we start debunking and looking into it, and we realize that it wasn't one of us, it wasn't this, it wasn't that, that's when we get on edge. And that's when, we start to get a little freaked out because, it's truly unexplainable. And that can be spooky.
let me piggyback off that because there was 2 incidents that happened on this last location, one to Robert and one to myself. And I'll just give you a little bit. So we're in this place and it's a sanatorium. It was a small sanatorium. It can only house 10 patients at a time. The sickest in Buffalo, New York is all it took. So people that were really going to die within weeks, okay, from tuberculosis. So it's really tragic. So the activity in this place, the only way I could describe it is, remember the movie Poltergeist? You remember when they see all the spirits floating around in the house and the medium tells her this house is filled. It's like a portal for them. That's what this house is like. And we get into the basement. Now, mind you, we have very sophisticated equipment, FLIR cameras that see in hot and cold temperatures only, color night vision, 4K cameras, full spectrum cameras. We can see in every spectrum of light with the equipment we have. And I happened to go down into the basement. I'm sitting down where they gave these they call them electric therapy baths. They actually filled bathtubs up with these batteries that were plugged in and they pumped electrical current through these people's bodies. It was like groundbreaking technology for the time. And all of a sudden I'm filming in front of me and I'm hearing something approach me, footsteps out of the pitch black. And it's only Robert and I down there. And all of a sudden with my own eyes, I can only describe as it looks like 2 big wings flapping like this, coming up, coming down, and then it came right into me. That just a ball of light that looked like 2 wings like this.
Oh, so it's a ball of light.
It was a ball of light, but this ball of light kept like transforming. When we drop the video, you'll see. And it looks like it's wings, and then it goes into like these 2 weird rods, and then back to wings, back to a ball of light. It circles around, and it flies right through me. And it scared me so much because when it flew through me, all the hair on my body stood up. It was like getting electric shock. It was the strangest experience I've ever had paranormal. I mean, really frightening. These things touch you. Like, just imagine you're in the pitch black. It may look to everybody viewing like it's bright, flashlights down there, but that's just IR light. Only the camera sees that light like a regular, flashlight. As far as Robert and I go, we can't see our hand in front of our face. So when you see one of these balls of light undulating like that coming at you, you're seeing that with your own eyes. It's the strangest thing. Or to get touched by somebody that is not there is even more frightening. Rob, I'll let you elaborate on that because that really terrifies me.
I don't want to spoil the episode before it comes out, but the same area in the basement of the Wildwood Sanatorium. Yes, some wild stuff. I'm thinking I don't want to give too much away.
I will go.
Not long story short, I was down in the basement. Everyone was upstairs. I left some of my equipment down in the basement, and I was just going to go down there because I'm not afraid of anything. So I just go down there by myself. I had a REM pod set up there. I had other equipment, and I was going towards the back. And as I was going in the back, the spirit talker goes off and it says, "This land is cursed." Then the REM pod starts going crazy. The only time it went off the entire night we were there. I'm down there in the basement by myself and I feel something grab. I had a collared shirt. I felt something grab the collar of my shirt and pick it up, and I start to freak out. I couldn't believe what just happened. And I just needed to take a break after that. And after reviewing footage Anthony found on his, when I was down in the basement by myself, we caught a shadow person walking around. And you see me in the frame. I'm completely still. I'm the only person down there. And there is, as clear as day, a lot different than the previous one we caught at Seaview.
Right.
This one is big, and it's right in front of the camera.
What he left out was he screamed so loud I heard him on the 3rd floor, but he left that out.
Yeah. No, I was.
So this is the recent one you just did?
Yeah.
And that was the second time I was touched in the same basement while we were all down there. They were in one room. I was in the corner, and I told them I felt, imagine 3 fingers going. I felt it just like that. 1, 2, 3, like that putter. I turned around thinking that a bug or something. I didn't know. I turned around. I was 3 foot away from a concrete wall, and there was nothing around. So it was something, and don't want to give away too much,
Yeah,
but
no.
there was a lot at Wildwood Sanatorium.
I like Mercedes a lot. That's why I'm giving her privileged information, Robert. All right.
Yeah,
She happens to be
spoiler.
she happens to be one of my favorite people, so she's getting the spoiler. Right?
I know, this is so awesome. I didn't realize that you hadn't been on another podcast in so long. So this is really an honor.
Been a
to
while,
have
yeah.
you on here. Wow, year and a half. So well, let's have Stan roll the clips.
Oh yeah, let's roll some clips.
Do we want to do one at a time?
Well, do you want to do a little history on Seaview, Anthony,
Okay.
before it starts?
Sure. Let's give them a little backstory on what Seaview is. So Seaview is, like I said, it was a tuberculosis hospital and farm colony. So in 1903, when they built the facility, the patients actually grew their own food, and it was all self-sustained. So one side was a farm colony, one side was the hospital for adults and children. Thousands of people died in this place because at that time they had no cure for TB, for tuberculosis, and they thought like fresh air and sunlight was going to cure everybody. So it was a hospital that had a lot of wide open spaces for them to sit outside and get fresh air in the woods.
Beautiful architecture.
Absolutely beautiful. And they thought by them working out in the garden and getting fresh air that these people were going to be cured, which just wasn't the case. So tragically, tens of thousands of people died in this facility. Unfortunately, it closed in 1961. And after it closed, the state picked it up as like a historic preservation. So now it's just like naturally deteriorating and falling into disrepair. And my brother-in-law just happens to be the director of the facility that is still open on the grounds, which is like an old age nursing home. So I am fortunate enough to be one of the only paranormal teams that ever gained access into this place. Now, don't get me wrong. People do break in and sneak in without permission, and they do like urban explorations. But Robert and I were the first paranormal team to ever go do a full investigation there with equipment. And the place it's insane. It's a gigantic hospital, 37 buildings, all connected by 3.5 miles of underground tunnels. And
it was spooky from what I was seeing. Like, I wasn't there.
It's absolutely beautiful. But once you get the architecture's just all copper and brass and beautiful terracotta work and stonework. Like, for example, they hand cut tile to look like big portraits of doctors and nurses and children on the wall. It's just breathtaking. It really is. It's absolutely stunning.
And in the clips that we're going to be showing, all of these clips, they were either taken in a basement or the tunnel system.
Right.
All of them. And it was a whole nother world down there.
Whole nother world.
The belly of the beast,
we
called it. And that's what it was.
We think, because Robert uncovered some really important stuff in our research, we think that it's so prominent down there because A, the morgue was down there, and B, they would transport the deceased patients down through the tunnel systems so the rest of the people healing in the hospital wouldn't have to see how many people were dying because they were just dropping like flies.
Keep the morale up, keep it up.
They were just stacking bodies down in the tunnel system when the morgue was overwhelmed. So we think because of all that and how these people were mishandled, everything just happens to conjugate down there. All the paranormal activity really conjugates down into this tunnel system, and it is freaky. It goes from really nice spirits to spirits that need help to spirits that really don't want you there, and they're really violent. Like, they're really upset that they've been trapped there so long and people don't hear them or whatever the case may be. But you'll see from the clips.
I didn't know it was a new place. I just figured it was one of the ones that we always hear about. So that's shocking.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
And everything was, when the state got it, all the equipment, the electroshock therapy chairs, all the cribs, every paperwork, documents, bottles, everything is there untouched.
Correct.
Obviously damaged, but everything is there.
Yes.
Which is rare. Covered with about 4 inches of asbestos, dirt, rust, and debris.
Yeah.
No lie. The entire facility.
It's really amazing. Really amazing.
All right. Well, let's roll the tape, Stan.
Go ahead.
Always wanted to say that.
Dude, I don't know how to.
So that's the woman spirit asking us for help. And maybe a minute before that actual audible clip happens, Robert's actually asking them if anybody needs help, if anybody's stuck and wants to cross over, we can help you. You just have to let us know. And not a minute later, she says, "Help, I'm hurt." Unfortunately, we didn't hear that with our ears. We didn't hear that until we reviewed the footage. And that's considered a Class A EVP, because 9 times out of 10, when you hear these audible speakings and chatter and muttering from the afterlife, it's very low. It's very hard to hear. It's usually
And there's no physical ambient tone to it.
right.
Like
This had
echo. You
right.
hear the echo on the
It had
voice.
range. This had
Yeah.
depth and range. It was very loud when we played it back. So,
But we heard nothing. And the most amazing thing about that clip, you guys can play it again if you want for the audience. But the most amazing thing was we caught that on 3 different cameras.
yes,
3 different video cameras picked up that voice.
Wow.
which is very rare.
That is rare.
And we
Very
didn't react. And my woman was there. And if she would have asked for help being down there in the dark tunnels with rust and pipes and nails coming out, Anthony and I would have turned around and what's wrong? What's wrong?
Right.
She didn't hear anything. No, none of us. We heard not a peep. But that whole entire time, up to that point, Anthony kept on saying, "I keep hearing a woman's voice. I keep he was saying he was hearing it, but we didn't have no physical evidence. Up until that point, it completely validated what Anthony was saying all along.
Yeah, because he thought he saw the woman, and you were hearing her voice is just in your hearing.
We just weren't able to document it.
And Robert's girlfriend, she's one of our camera women. So when she's there, she don't speak. She really don't come on camera. She's just with the camera. She's just there. Oh, fireworks! She's just there filming us, and that's it. And yeah, so we do have a woman with us, Rob's girlfriend, but she doesn't interact with the show at all. She's a camera lady for us. That's it.
Right. I see Lady Warrior's asking some questions. Yeah, so that's Robert's girlfriend. Yes. And you can kind of see her in the Paranormal.
Yeah, there's little clips.
Yeah. Yeah. So wow, but that's neat. You got to do that together. So that's amazing. So let's go to the next clip.
All right. Spooky like that. Look. So that clip that's the tunnel system. Mind you, there's 0 electricity in the building, and somehow that one light fixture is on underground in the tunnel. The only light fixture at a miles and miles and 37 building. That was the only light that was on. How, I have no idea. All the wires are cut and burnt and over 60 years old, so I have no clue. But in that tunnel, we're discussing which tunnel we're going to go down, north, south, east, or west, and all of a sudden that voice out of nowhere just tells us to die. Die.
Can you play that again, Stan?
Spooky, like that. Look. It's very low.
And something very interesting about that, too. We were walking down, there was the main route for the tunnels. And as you were going, it would break off into a basement. It would break off into this. It would break off. So we were walking, and Anthony and I was in front of him, and we were coming up. And we had no idea that tunnel was there. Anthony didn't see that when he went in last year. Last year, he didn't go that far.
Right.
So as we were walking up, imagine our surprise turning after seeing basements, seeing that long tunnel and a single light down there with a gurney under it. And then it was at that exact moment of what are we looking at here? That's when that voice came. It happened right as soon as we turned. We're in shock. Anthony's saying, "That's spooky. I got to get pictures of this."
Yeah.
And that's exactly when the voice says, "Die." And that raspy, "Die."
Yeah, so that wasn't a good one.
No.
Not friendly.
Not friendly. Not friendly.
Not a friendly one. Wow. No. I mean, that's amazing. But, they can use their light sources.
I'm glad we didn't hear that one.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't hear that one either. We would have been out very early.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go ahead to the next one, Stan.
This is the moment where you can see an unseen force pulling the backpack off of my shoulders. You can see that I'm clearly past the pipes, and a loose hanging wire is incapable of this. Keep in mind, I had thousands of dollars of brand new equipment in that bag that fell into dirt and asbestos. And if you look closely, you can actually see something physically pull it up and back, causing everything to fall out and for it to come completely undone. Look at the movement. Something latches onto that and pulls it directly up right there. And let me tell you, the amount of force this caused me to come to a complete stop. And after hearing an EVP telling us to die, if I would have fell backwards down these steps, I would have hit the back of my head on that pipe. Considering this terrifying experience, it was time to get out.
I just love the way you guys express it. It's time to get out. It's like old school cool. I love it.
It's really difficult to understand that clip because it happened so fast, and you got to understand, we're not planning for this stuff to happen. It's pitch black. We were just walking up to another floor when this happened. But just to explain what this looks like down there, there's pipes and everything, but they're on the wall going this way. So overhead, there's nothing over our head going up those stairs. There was just one cut telephone wire. So whatever got a hold of him actually grabbed that handle and picked it up and pulled him back. And we had all our equipment in there, all this brand new equipment, like $7,000 worth of gear went on the floor.
At that point, Amy and I, my girlfriend, we did not have... I had everything fully packed up. Anthony was just shooting with his camera, just getting some footage when that happened. Yeah. We weren't investigating. We were scooting and booking, trying to get
out. Yeah, because we had gotten locked in, actually.
Oh, that's right. You got locked in. They locked y'all in.
The construction company locked us in. They put up a fence while we were in there. Nobody told them we were down there filming. And we came out, and there was an 8-foot fence with barbed wire all around the building. We came out. There was no way out. We had to literally find a ladder that was like from the 1940s.
Broken.
Put up to the fence. Put a
fire blanket over the barbed wire.
Jump over this 8-foot tall fence to get
out. We were
out.
Trapped there, and I personally believe, I was saying, like, we didn't know we were trapped there until we got done investigating all of the basement, all the tunnels, all of that stuff, which was terrifying in itself, as you can see. And, we realized that we're trapped there. And I was telling Anthony, a lot of the patients that went to Seaview Hospital for tuberculosis, they thought it was contagious. And oftentimes people that were sent there with tuberculosis, they were trapped there. They were never going to be allowed to go back to the public.
Right.
And I believe us physically being trapped there, whether we knew it or not, played as a catalyst to ramp up this activity, because we were unknowingly trapped there the same way those souls were that had tuberculosis, and most never got to leave, and their final days were there. And I really, you see some paranormal teens where they have someone come and put a lock on the door and they got to survive. Well, we didn't have anyone to come get that lock off in this situation. Right. We were in trouble. We didn't know what we're going to do. We're panicking, all this stuff. And that's when some of this nasty stuff, that attack, and you can see on the back of the bag, you see it pull up. That would have been right where my handle and the surrounding area attached to that. And just from the sheer force of whatever grabbed it,
opened everything right up.
It opened everything up, because I was going up those steps. My head didn't hit anything. I was ducking. I was low and I was scooting, and the back of my backpack was the same as my head, and I was going forward. My head didn't hit anything.
6'8",
and I'm 6'8". I'm leaning forward, and something pulled it, back, because it was a 30-pound pack. I had 30 pounds in there. So the weight of that and everything, I'm a big, strong guy. That's why I didn't go all the way back. I used to play sports, I know how to lean forward, but it still stopped me. Like it felt like someone put a tow hook on me and pulled me back with a truck or something. It
Ton of
was
force.
yeah, and it was a lot. And
How do
they
you
come.
how do you even explain that? Because the scientific community will not admit that there's an afterlife. They do not believe in the paranormal scientists. They just will not take any evidence you give them. And we just keep finding one more piece after another, proving that there's definitely an afterlife. So there's definitely spiritual. Your soul is energy. Energy never dies. It just transfers into the next form. And if scientists tell us that, it's kind of crazy to me that they won't believe that we have a soul that can transfer over as energy. It's just mind-boggling to me.
What we need to do is get that backpack, 30 pounds, put it on these scientists and tell them to go down there and figure it out.
Yeah,
That's what we got to do.
you ain't kidding.
They'll learn.
Well, I so but yeah, so I like how you guys in the film you show, like, especially on my big screen. I do a lot of everything on my phone, so I'm
What is
actually
he?
all on the big screen. I'm like, because I could see it on my phone when I could see everything, but on the big screen, I'm like, holy cow, you can really
Yeah.
see where the wire was above you, and then you can see where there was space, and then you can see it lifting up, and then, but it, it's like you would be professional. You would have zipped everything up. So
Oh,
they
yeah.
literally unzipped it and pulled it.
Well, they
and
just
you
happened
could
to
see
pull where they pulled, so the zippers were up on top by the handle. So when they pulled that, they got a hold of that, and just all the force from the pull
Force.
pulled that, because that bag, part of it stays clipped to your back, and then the other part opens. You know what I mean? So it's like two pieces. The second
Oh,
part is what opened, and the other piece stood on his back. It's crazy.
Yeah, from
my
like so
God.
the zippers were fully closed on the top. The force of whatever
Grabbed them
pulled it so back, it forced from the weight of the pack, it
to
forced
open
it to open because it lifted up
up
and
and back,
too hard, which forced it to kind of
come
unzipper.
apart. Yeah.
We don't believe the ghost unzippered it. We believe
Okay.
the ghost grabbed it, and from the force of it,
Okay.
caused the pack to come
Hold it open with the
open.
force of it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that I wasn't sure because it just looked like, whoa. I was just thinking it's one of those zipper ones, but that makes sense. That's more like a real good authority, backpack.
It's a camera backpack. They're like
Camera.
designed for your cameras not to fall out, so to speak.
Yeah,
You know what I
and
mean?
there's two zippers, a normal zipper
Yeah.
system. I had it zippered up at the top. It was just the
Wow.
force that did it.
But even if that evidence wasn't enough, what we got next will really
Yeah.
make
So
it.
go ahead, Stan. Let's roll that film.
It was at this chilling moment we made the decision to activate the FLIR camera, sensing an undeniable presence lurking in the room with us. Between the eerie bell ringing and the unsettling noises echoing around us, we were certain that something supernatural was there, and thankfully we captured it. What you're about to witness still haunts us. The unmistakable image of a pair of feet moving silently across the floor. No body, no explanation, just 2 feet, one stepping deliberately in front of the other. You can even see the exact position of everyone in the room. Yet, these feet glide past as if they're from another realm. This footage stands as compelling evidence that life beyond death is not just a myth. It's a terrifying reality.
That when I saw that, I was like, "Whoa, I've never seen that."
Now
anything like
explain that. So
Yeah,
that camera only sees in hot and cold a FLIR camera. Okay, forward it's a thermal forward infrared thermal camera, something like that. I forget the exact acronyms for it. It only it's on the heat mode, so everything that's hot in that room is a brighter yellow color, and everything that's cooler is like a purple and a pink. Those
Okay.
feet are hot, and Amy's over here to the left, Robert's over here, and I'm holding the camera. There's nothing in front where those feet are walking. So it's just a wall and a low table, maybe like 2 foot high. And you just see him walking along Like
And the feet, they
nobody's business.
disappear because
Into the wall.
there was a big, well, there was that cabinet and that wall. There was a
Yeah.
column in the basement separating. So there was a side that went off. There was a column and a big desk that was sitting there. The feet disappear because it goes behind the wall and the column, and it was heading towards a different direction.
Somebody asked, why would you say it wasn't a rodent? Well, one, we got the place lit up like Christmas. We would have seen that, but
that lady warrior, she said
well,
LOL
no,
though.
it's a great question though, because
Yeah,
if it would have
it
been a
could
rat,
be.
if it would have been
Yeah.
a rat or a
Oh,
possum
right.
or a raccoon, it would have lit up in the exact shape, just like you saw our bodies perfect. If a rodent, you would have seen absolutely pristine,
And
perfect.
it would have stayed solid. Like the footsteps, how there's one, it
Break apart, one
disappears,
after the other.
and it's
Oh.
separated. A rodent, it would have been
Solid
one
mass.
solid mass moving continuously and
You would-
not
you would
that
see what it is.
fade out.
Good point. You know what? We should show people what a cat looks like on the flare, what a rat looks like on the
Yeah.
flare.
Yeah, because you never know.
Thank you, Lady Warrior. You got me
Lady
thinking now.
warrior is amazing.
Appreciate
And
that.
so like but yeah, the walking, that, I mean, so wow. That's just
Not to
amazing.
mention that same room we caught a shadow
The shadow
person
figure.
walking,
Yeah.
in that same room.
I don't
That's-
remember if I gave that to you. You might have it.
Stan, do we have another clip?
No, I didn't see that in the beginning. I don't think
That may have been the last clip.
I'm not sure.
the shadow person though was pretty
I
wild,
I might have.
and it's
Well,
the same kind of walking.
I have to say there's something else about this that I love. And I love how you guys talk. I
Well-
love how you're explaining things, and the music, however this is happening. It's the whole thing is like, I feel like all my senses are being opened in this investigation when you have it all done like that, with the music and everything, the visuals that you're putting on there.
I'm trying very, very hard. Now, I'm by no means an expert at editing or any of that. I'm doing, believe me, I'm doing my absolute best to try to make it appealing for everyone. It'll get better as we go along, and we're learning more. But I tried to make it more like a movie. I want people to, instead of coming to me like, that was like an hour long, how boring. I want them to go for an hour and feel like it was 10 minutes. I want them to really be captivated and tingle all your senses. The music just heightens the mood, and the narration and everything. I want you to feel captivated when you're watching what we do. You know what I mean? I want you to really enjoy it, and maybe inspire somebody to get out there and do it themselves also.
Yeah.
Well, I just got, it's like, it's really important because I think you and I, Anthony, I started doing editing in 21 or 22, something like that. And I never thought I would be an editor. I was always in front of the camera. I love it. And I just have but I think it's my energy or whatever. And I'm able to like think of things or see things or hear things. So I think what I'm seeing in you is that. I'm seeing that.
Oh, I love it.
Wow. He's
very artistic, right? It's like you get to use all of your, artistic creative juices and get them out
musician.
there. Yeah, and you
Right.
express.
Musician.
And you're a
sing.
musician. So like, that is really cool that I didn't know that.
And Anthony does most of the editing, but I do have editing
Oh, no,
skills
you
as well.
edit
And
along.
we
He doesn't-
well, no, I'm not saying
do
it like that. I'm just letting her know
Yeah.
that we all have that same ability, and that creative tone just comes to us. And when we collaborate and work together, a lot of amazing stuff really comes out of it. And what, Anthony, what he was saying about the music, we want people to feel a little spooky. We want them to see actual evidence. We want people to question their reality of what they feel, and maybe it's something more. And something that I really enjoy, and I'm sure Anthony does too, is some of the history. And I love history. I love studying history, and most haunted places have a great history behind it. And we have the rare opportunity to actually be able to communicate with that history.
Correct.
That because I love history, of course I want to communicate with history, and we get to do that. And it's it's one of the coolest things. That does it for me. That's the magical part.
And
You know,
yes, we
that's
sorry.
no, go
Yes,
ahead.
I was just gonna answer Lady Ward. We do use an SLS among a plethora of pieces of equipment. If they make it for the paranormal, we have it, and if they didn't make it for the paranormal, I've rigged it so we can have it. So, for example, just today I said, you know what? I want to hear these spirits talking in real time. How can I accomplish that? So right now I just wrote out a patent today and sent it to my attorney to have a microphone on a recorder, and you can hear it and record in real time what the spirits are saying. Because so much of this stuff you don't get to hear till you review it after the fact. I
Mm.
think if we can hear it in real time, it'd be a lot better, you know? So,
Yeah,
for example, if the spirit spoke to you in real time and you were able to answer it right there on the spot, it would be so much better in the show. And they don't have that kind of equipment yet.
well, I recently interviewed a man, and I'll send that link to you. And he's actually in Phoenix, so I was thinking about having him come out here because he's not too far. He's like 2 or 3 hours from my house, and investigate our house with this with what he has. So I'll send that information. It might be something you might be interested in, you both. But I want to ask Robert. So Robert, prior to this, in your investigations, did you and Amy always work as a team, or together and do paranormal with it? Did you work without Anthony, or you guys, Anthony and Rob, you both always work together for the
The
long?
Well, for Anthony and I, we've been friends for 4 years, 3 years, whatever. But the investigation at
Who's counting?
yeah, the investigation at Seaview, that was the first time we ever met each other. We met each other, and less than an hour, we were in this haunted abandoned hospital. First
Right.
time physically meeting each other, but
Right.
we talked all the time. We were like best friends, but we just never hung out. Unfortunately, my grandmother got really sick. She was on hospice. I had to be her caretaker for 6 months. And Anthony and I just kind of stopped everything we were doing. He understood it, super supportive there for him. But I said, dude, when all of this is over, which I didn't know when it would all be over, I didn't want it really to be. But, he was there for me. And when my grandmother passed, that's when we said, yeah, it's time to do it, and after going through all that, I just, I really wanted to get out there and actually follow my dreams. Watching my grandmother slowly pass away in front of me and being there during the moment of her passing and feeling my mother, who also passed away for the first time, next to my grandmother as she's dying in front of me. That whole experience, I just felt such a peace come over me. And it just kind of reinstated everything. I said, this is the moment. And then Anthony, he's like, let's do it. Let's do it. I got this hospital, and we started. And then I went
That's
crazy, and I bought every paranormal piece of equipment.
Me too.
Anthony started buying everything, and we're like, we're good. And then by the next investigation, we have double the amount what we had the first. And yeah, it's one of those things. As far as Amy and I, my whole life I've been doing different investigations, but I've been with Amy for a good 10 years, a solid 10 years. And just for normal vacation, we would go to super haunted places and just stay the weekend. Like we went to Lake Shawnee, a haunted abandoned amusement park on native Shawnee burial mounds. And we just camped out there and we just had fun, and a lot of paranormal activity happened. Our thing has always been going to places, not worrying about the ghosts, having a good vibe, me playing guitar, having a good time. And sometimes that gets activity going just as much as being serious and show yourself. Sometimes just doing your thing there is enough to ramp up. And that was our style. Obviously, we're not doing that. We're going there. We got a mission. We have fun with it, but and there's times where we're more serious. But with what Amy and I was doing, no, it was all fun. It was all fun. But catalysts, just like Anthony said, we're catalysts. Even when I'm not trying and just having fun, it happens, you know?
And not only that, we don't just want to go to big locations that are well known. We are also going to start going to people's homes that need help. Because
Good.
I think interacting with the public and helping people is the most important part of this. There are people out there that really have problems and they have nobody to turn to for help. And I think if they can contact us and get us out there to at least get them, some evidence and say, hey, look, it's not raccoons in your wall. This is what's going on, and here's the evidence. And now we'll go take the next steps. I think that would help a lot of people.
Yeah, because we might debunk it. We're pretty good debunkers, but we're also pretty good at getting actual evidence. So it could go either way with that.
I'm glad you said that, Robert, because I'd say 80% of the stuff that don't make it is stuff that we debunked. The only stuff that we put up. See, right now, it's tricky with YouTube because the only way you get YouTube to push your videos out is if everybody's watching the full thing and it's entertaining, right? So we just started the channel, so we're keeping the videos short, between 30 and 40 minutes, because we need to build up that audience that really appreciates the show. Once we build up an audience, then we could show you how we debunk and make it a little longer and make it, but
make it
right
more
now,
boring for all of you, and you can
right.
see us just sitting there going, bro, did you feel that? I felt that. Did you feel it too? We'll put that in, we'll put that in later, but right now.
But we do it. Don't get me wrong. We do debunk about 80%.
There's a lot of things. Accidentally kick a cat ball. It goes off. That was me. Stomach starts going. Anthony goes, I just heard a growl. No, bro, my stomach. I'm starving, man. We do stuff like that all the time. We just cut it out because it's boring, but we do it. Yeah. But also what he said about investigating, like we have an opportunity to we're also trying to investigate, like he said, places that aren't well known. And I actually had an offer of a mansion in the Pine Barrens owned by the state, and we'll be the first paranormal team to ever investigate. Another first. So we're doing some of the big ones because of course we want to. But we also, like Anthony said, we would love to, have people that subscribe to us. I got a super haunted house, whatever, or I'm struggling with this. Us come there. We don't have to pay for a hotel. You can let us sleep in the house. Just make us dinner or whatever, and we'll be straight. We'll take care of it. Be good. Yeah, we'll take care of it.
It's very expensive to paranormal investigate. I mean, ridiculous. Like just this weekend, we probably spent $1,000 between renting the property and gas and toll. I mean, it's very, very expensive.
Yeah,
it is.
Well, but you love it, and if you're and it's rewarding. Like especially because I know that you have also talked with Archbishop Ronald Enright and the Order of Exorcists, which I'm a part of, and so we are always talking about how we need really great paranormal groups that, really, you guys, though, there's a lot of people that just don't believe in what we're doing. They don't believe that there's, like I was just listening the other day, and I'm not going to say who they were, but they're like just making light of demons. Like, I understand that it's even what we say or the exorcists say is like, it's a minimal that it's actually a demon.
Right.
But to make light of it like there is no demonic forces, or I just don't understand that philosophy. It's almost like whatever was down in the basement with you guys, whatever that was, okay, maybe it wasn't a demon, but whatever it was, it wasn't good. And if they have enough
negative,
force,
negative.
If they've got enough force to pull you, they're invisible. That can come right inside your body.
Exactly. I've had that happen, Mercedes.
Oh yeah, with the light.
Right into me this past weekend.
Yeah, and let's hope that was good.
Your body reacts to it, so it's really happening. You're not crazy, I
can't believe we're almost over.
Oh,
darn it!
What? We were just getting started.
I know this is so fun. I knew this was going to be so fun.
But that's what I'm talking about. You did a 45-minute show. It felt like 5 minutes.
I know, but so I'm going to talk. But but I think everything you're saying and everything you're doing, I just think it's fresh. It's a fresh breath of air in the paranormal world.
Appreciate
And
it.
I wish you could come to our house, but we're all the way in Arizona.
All right, I'll pack now. I'll be there Monday. All right.
But you know, we've had this place we had it pretty much like a whole year and a half now. We had an investigation out this last weekend, and I'm still waiting on the results, but I wasn't really expecting that much, because we have really put a prayer visual on this place, and they weren't coming here anymore.
Very smart.
Yeah, and so this time she was like kind of saying like it's pretty quiet, and I'm like, well, you know what? I'm okay. All I wanted was to have some, kind of footage of them coming here, to put in that second documentary.
Yeah.
Whatever they find, it doesn't matter. I know that they're everywhere. These spirits are everywhere.
They are.
I could feel them in the cabin that night because I got to stay in there. But I'm like, I can feel them moving, but they weren't, as far as I know, they weren't making noise or sound. And so they're very much aware of
Absolutely.
everything happening. So I think everything you guys are doing, it's really much needed. And I love, I didn't know who the announcer or narrator was. I got to give that kudos to that. That just is really fun to me. I love that narrator guy.
Yeah,
I love your interactions. You're talking.
Rick from Ancient Aliens on the History Channel's on narrator.
Who is that? What is the likelihood that you could start a brand new show and have that guy do your narrator?
I have a lot of friends.
But that just shows you there's something very special about this. I tell you what it is. You're both very special.
Thank you.
You guys are kind, loving human beings.
And you are as well.
Thank you. I mean, that's what I try.
Likewise.
And I think it makes a difference. I think that's what we need now. We need for the spirits and for God and for everybody. We need to get the mystery. We are the mystery. It's the mystery. What do we get at? How do we uncover it? What is it? What's the truth? And I've spent the whole last couple of minutes talking. Okay, so why don't you guys take a few minutes and just tell us where everybody can find you? I know we've been putting the links out and things like that, but share a little bit before we end the show about where they can reach you.
Sure. So, as you all know, we're Paranormal Unearthed, and as of right now, we're on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, and we're slowly growing. Eventually, we'll have the radio portion to the show. We'll narrate what happens for you, and you'll be able to listen in your car while you're driving and stuff like that. But right now, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, you can find us on. So come subscribe, check us out. I'm sure we have something you'll enjoy on there.
Mm-hmm. And our main videos, our main episodes, our Pride and Joys, that's strictly on YouTube.
Right.
On all the other socials, you can find clips and all that. And we in the descriptions, we have a bunch of little things and you can find it. So if you go to the YouTube, you can find everything else as well. And definitely make sure to check out all the cool little videos we got.
Yes.
Yeah, please do, everybody. Please do. And then it's just like they just make really unique things. I mean, this is really a unique group here. Two really great guys here that are doing
we're something.
You're something. You really are. It's like, wow, what is this? I love this. So well, thank you so much for being here. I really
thank you for having us. It's been a pleasure.
You.
Well, and I want you to come
back.
I
hope the bishop feels better too.
Yes, Bishop Joshua.
Hope you feel better.
In that regard.
I know he wanted to see this one, so he wanted to be a part of it so much. But I got to have more time with you. It's okay. So all right, you guys. I want to make sure that everybody tunes in with us next week. I believe we have Lon Strickler. From Phantoms and Monsters.
I know who that is.
Yeah, I'm real excited to have him. I think that is next week. If it's not next week, it's like the week after. But we have just you guys and there's so many great people that are on the next weeks. Like we're booked all the way up till November.
That's great.
So yeah, we got some really great people. So be sure to tune in with us then. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, thank you to the audience. Thank you to all the people in chat. Thank you for Lady Warrior for going in there and helping me with the chat tonight. All right, you guys.
Thank you.
Have a great night. Thank you, Stan, our wonderful producer.
Thank you, Stan. Stan the man.
Everybody.